Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in my recent video you saw the 500mm 3D printers frame. So you also saw that 4 heatbeds were connected on the build plate. I also told you that we have connected them in series and parallel. So in this video I'm going to show you that how you can connect 4 heatbeds in parallel or series connection for your 3D printer to make a larger bed area. So let's get straight to the point. So let's assume here we have 4 heat beds that we will connect on our build plate. So on the heat bed, you will see the connection terminals for 12 volt and 24 volt like this. I have mentioned here. So for 12 volt, you will use first terminal as a positive terminal and second and third terminal for the negative terminal. That means you will have to short second and third terminal for 12 volt. So you will see three terminals like this, 1, 2 and 3. So for 24 volt, you don't have to use the first terminal. You will only use second and third terminal, second for positive and third for negative. So as we are going to use 4 heatbeds, so now I'm going to tell you that how you are going to use. For that you have to use series and parallel connection. So let me tell you first possibility. The first possibility is that you are going to use 4 heatbeds in parallel connection. That means 4P connection. So if you are going to use 4P connection and you have 24 volt power supply, because the larger printer won't work better on 12 volt, that's why you will have to use 24 volt for better speed and extrusion etc. And in 4P connection, you will use all 4 beds in parallel connection. That means each bed will get 24 volt. Here each bed will get 24 volt, but also each bed draws around 5 to 6 ampere current. So that means you will have to use 30 plus ampere power supply. If you are using 24 volt connection on each bed, then you will have to use 4 parallel connection. Then it is going to draw 30 plus amperes from power supply. That is too much and it will cost more electricity. So to avoid that, I have figured out that you can use 2P and 2S connection. That means 2 bed in parallel and 2 bed in series. But for that, if you are using 2P2S in 24 volt connection, then still you are going to use 30 plus ampere power supply, because each bed is still drawing too much current, because in 24 volt connection each bed has around 4 ohm resistance, and for 12 volt connection each bed has around 2 ohm resistance. You can measure that using multimeter by attaching the terminals positive and negative. So in 12 volt connection resistance is 2 ohm and for 24 volt resistance is 4 ohm. That means if you are using 12 volt connection, you are going to use less amperes, and for 24 volt amperes are gonna increase because of resistance. So if you are going to use 2P2S connection and you have 24 volt, so first let me draw here that how you are going to connect in 2P and 2S. So let's assume we are going to use 12 volt connection because I have already tested it. So for 12 volt you will have to short second and third terminal, and first terminal will be positive. So here second and third terminal, and this is positive, this is positive, this is negative, and here is negative. So let me draw here the number. So let's assume this is first, this is second, this is third heatbed, and this is fourth heatbed. So if you are going to connect them in two series and two parallel connection, so you will have to use positive terminal of fourth and positive terminal of second. So negative terminal of first heatbed and negative terminal of third heatbed. That means this heatbed and this heatbed are in parallel connection. So now I'm going to show you the series connection. So we have negative terminal of second and positive terminal of first. So we will connect them in series. Here you can see positive terminal, then we have negative terminal. So it will go into the positive terminal of first heatbed, then negative terminal, then negative terminal, and positive terminal of third will go into the negative terminal of fourth heatbed. So we have now two terminals, this positive and this negative. So we will connect these two terminals to the controller board. This is positive and this is negative. So voltage will travel from here to here. If you are using 24 volt, no matter what connection you have done on the heatbed, if you have done 24 volt connection, that means second is positive and third is negative, still they are going to use 12 volt, because in parallel connection voltage remains same. So each bed will get, these two bed will get 24 volt and these two bed will also get 24 volt, but we have also connected them in series, so each bed is going to get 12 volt. I hope you understand it. So let me explain it again. So if you are using 24 volt and you have connected these two beds in series and these two beds in series, now you have one series segment here and second series segment here. So you have connected 1 and 2 both in parallel connection. So in parallel connection voltage remains same. That means these two beds will get 24 volt, these two beds will also get 24 volt, but after parallel connection each bed is going to get 12 volt because we have also connected them in series. Here you can see we are providing here 24 volt and this is parallel connection, so 24 volt is going there, but next is series connection, so voltage is going to divide. So this is the basic rule in electronics, that voltage divides in series connection and remains same in parallel connection, and current divides in parallel connection and remains same in series connection. So that means each bed is going to use 12 volt. So it is already getting 12 volt, then why we connect them in 24 volt? If you are connecting it 24 volt connection here, then you are going to see an error on your screen that max temperature bed failed, and you will have to restart your printer, and it is never going to get the maximum value unless you have connected 30 plus amperes around power supply. So to avoid that, you can use less ampere power supply around 20 to 25 amperes, but you can connect them in parallel and series connection using 12 volt, because we are already giving 24 volt and each bed is already getting 12 volt, so we can connect them in 12 volt connection, so each bed will get 12 volt. If we connecting here, so for 12 volt you are going to use second and third terminal as a negative terminal and this is the positive terminal. So this is the exact combination you are going to use. Remember, you are using 24 volt power supply and you have connected beds, that means you have used the terminals for 12 volt. Here you can see here, this is the connection you are going to use. If you are using 24 volt, then it is going to draw too much current because resistance is going to increase. So our main purpose is to decrease the resistance so that it can draw less current. So I hope you understand here. If you still have any question, you can ask me in comment section or you can contact me. So let me revise everything for the last time. So you have this connection for 12 volt and this connection for 24 volt. That means first terminal is for positive and second and third terminal are for negative. And we are using 12 volt connection. We have 24 volt power supply and we are using 2P2S combination for 4 heat beds, and we have connected them like this, positive terminal and positive terminal. This is the negative terminal, this is the negative terminal. These are connected in parallel and these are connected in series. So voltage will remain same, 24 volt, but they are going to get 12 volt because we have already also connected them in series. If you want to use 2 heat beds, then you can use 2 heat beds in parallel connection, but you can't use 4 heat bed in parallel connection if you have larger power supply and you can pay the bill for electricity. So you can use 4 heat beds in parallel connection, so it will give better performance, but it will draw too much current. and you are getting 12 volt if you're using 2p 2s combination. And also one more thing, to give the 12 volt to each bed in 2p 2s combination, you will have to check that all 4 heat beds have almost same resistance. Because if one has, let's suppose this bed has 2 ohm resistance and this bed has 1.5 ohm resistance and this bed has 2.5 ohm resistance and this bed has 1 ohm resistance. So if you're using heat beds with this resistance, then it is going to fail like this, because this bed will draw less voltage than this, because this has resistance of 2.5 ohm and each bed draws around 6 ampere current, then it is going to draw around 14 to 15 volt. So the remaining voltage will go to this bed. These two beds have 24 volt, and if one has resistance more than other, then one bed will get more voltage than other. So that means one bed will heat up more than other one. So to avoid that, make sure each bed has around same resistance. So that's it. So I hope you have understand it. If you still have any question, you can ask me. So see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.